Hey, good Thursday to you. It's time once again for RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Thanks for being with us. We have plenty to talk about on today's program. One of those will be just talking about field prep and things to have in mind this growing season, especially when the to-do list is longer than usual because there wasn't a whole lot done in the fall or in the winter for that matter. And we'll talk to Eric Ift at Bayer Crop Science, who also heads the Illinois CCA program, Certified Crop Advisors. Illinois, for a long time, had the most certified crop advisors in the country, but then there was a new mandate in California, Eric says, that allowed and forced creation of more CCAs in California, which can be a good thing, but Illinois is tops in the Midwest, by all means, in that category. We'll have plenty to talk about as well. Rita Frazier this week visited with the president of Nebraska Farm Bureau. We'll hear about that because not only did they have the bomb cyclone, those horrible storms in March, there have been rains since then that have certainly slowed the kind of progress that they had hoped for cleanup. So we'll hear from Nebraska Farm Bureau President Steve Nelson. Also, Illinois FBFM will have a new CEO. We'll get into that later in the program as well. Plenty to come here. Plus, markets and weather. Looks like another soaker for a good portion of the state this week and into the weekend. Stay tuned. It's RFD, Illinois.
Farm Week and Partners Magazine editor Chris Anderson connects rural routes for you. Chris shares her 4 decades of writing expertise by making sure each edition delivers the best information. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I was raised on a farm in Champaign County growing corn, soybeans, popcorn, pumpkins, and poultry. My top priority is to inform, educate, and even entertain Farm Bureau members.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
It's where your home is built, your landscape is planted, and your children play. Land is all around us, so Illinois farmers have dedicated years to learning how to best care for it. Today, we're bridging modern knowledge with resources from Mother Nature to promote natural soil activity and choosing crops that enhance soil health. To learn more about conservation efforts, visit ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
Welcome back to RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Well, more rain is in the forecast. More soakers are in the forecast, and we'll hear from freeze notice meteorologist Dan Hicks a little bit later. But the 6 to 10, 8 to 14-day forecasts don't look very promising. Still the first week of April. We thought we were going to be late last year, and we planted 70% of the corn in the state in 3 weeks. Seems to have a different feel this year, though, because the to-do list is longer for most farmers.
Yeah, it seems like it's later than it is because of all the work we didn't get done last fall. So everything we wanted to get done last fall has to be done this spring. So I think that pressure's kind of hanging over us as well. But certainly you're right, we're not late yet, but it could potentially get to that.
And some people may do this anyway, but just the notion of 100% post when it comes to weed management. I mean, we still had the winter annuals, and certainly the spring is getting closer and closer and things we have to contend with. So how are we going to balance all of this?
Right. Well, you know, winter annuals are always a concern, and I've been driving around here a lot lately looking for those purple fields that are solid with henbit. I don't see really bad henbit today, but certainly those winter annuals can come on. We didn't really have the time to get the fall-applied herbicides applications made like we normally do in the fall. One kind of watch out that I tell the guys that are battling winter annuals, the strip tillers or the no-tillers, is make sure you allow plenty of time after that burn down application for that mat of weeds to dry down, because the root systems and all that mat of drying plant material will cause that soil to stay wetter, and you certainly do not want to plant when it's too wet out there.
Is there a number there? It's like 72 hours, or is it field by field? Or
it's field by field, yeah. Condition by condition. Temperature makes a difference, how many little showers you get on it, things like that. There's nobody better than the Illinois farmer to know when that field is really fit to plant.
For corn this year, another plan could just be, I mean, if we get in the 70s for a while, that corn may just come up right away.
Right.
If corn comes up right away, that could change the way we approach that.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I talk about this with guys all the time is usually there's a planned pre-emergence herbicide application. Then we wait till the corn gets V4 to V7. We put another layer of residual herbicide then to carry us the rest of the way out till the rows are shaded. But sometimes the planters get ahead of the sprayers and the corn's already emerged by the time you get there. So understanding what that label says about tank mix partners, adjuvants, it may be that it's restricted and not allowed to spray on emerged corn. So having that plan A, B, C, and knowing what the plan would be if that corn's emerged is critical.
Eric Gift at Bayer Crop Science also chairs the state's Certified Crop Advisor program. Certainly not as wet here as it has been in the Western Corn Belt. Steve Nelson, president of Nebraska Farm Bureau, visited with Rita Frazier earlier this week.
Some progress is being made as far as cleanup goes, and we've had a few occasional days of dry weather. Unfortunately, we've also had a couple small rain events and some cloudy weather between the initial storm, which is about 3 weeks away from today is when the snowstorm and then the flooding that followed occurred. We continue to have areas of the state of Nebraska that have some significant immediate needs. There are some water districts that were compromised because of flooding in the river that damaged pipelines that were used to move water into certain areas. So there's still some pretty significant needs. We've had a lot of hay and those kinds of things move into Nebraska. A lot of help from all over the country, including other areas of the state of Nebraska that have helped a lot. But again, there's just enormous needs here. This is a storm, again, as we've talked about before, of historic proportions, and about 3/4 of the counties in the state of Nebraska have been affected by this again, historical weather event. And so, again, a lot of needs out there and a lot of issues to deal with, and this will be a long-term recovery that we're talking about.
Steve Nelson, Nebraska Farm Bureau, visited with Rita this week. Nebraska last year's number 3 corn-producing state in the country, close to 1.8 billion bushels. 5th overall and 2nd in terms of yield for soybeans. Their 59 bushels an acre was 2nd only to Illinois last year. More to come on RFD, Illinois.
Attention corn farmers. Your corn checkoff dollars are working with the U.S. Meat Export Federation to grow red meat export volumes. Because when we're exporting beef, we're also exporting corn. The beef industry consumes 28% of all corn fed to livestock, plus additional corn in the form of DDGs, a co-product of ethanol production. Now that's what we call working an angle. Your checkoff is working corn from all angles. Because of the Illinois Corn Marketing Board, your profitability is our bottom line. A message from the Illinois Corn Checkoff.
Clean water matters to all of us. For years, farmers have been calling for clean water and clear rules because we know it's possible to have both. Now is the time to make your voice heard. The proposed clean water rule announced by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Army Corps would end years of uncertainty over where federal jurisdiction begins and ends. Support the new rule. Text WATERS to 52886. That's WATERS to 52886. And contact your local county farm bureau for more information.
Welcome back to RFD, Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee. We'll get some news out of Washington from Tuesday and yesterday as an American Farm Bureau official says restricting or shutting down commercial traffic against the U.S.-Mexico border would be a disaster for U.S. producers, as our Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
AFB's Veronica Nye says President Trump's threat to partially or fully close the border if Mexico fails to end mass illegal migration is the last thing U.S. agriculture needs.
It would be devastating to U.S. agriculture, both from an export and an import perspective. 69% of all U.S. ag trade back and forth with Mexico happens via truck. So if we think about all of the additional costs that would incur to have to ship product by rail or airplane or boat, that gets pretty expensive pretty quick.
While Trump seems to have backed off his threat to completely close the border, Nye says the damage has already started with redeployment of customs agents from the Nogales port of entry in Arizona, shuttering commercial truck inspections on Sundays.
From a fruit and vegetable perspective, that's an incredibly important port of entry. It's the largest port for U.S. imports of fruit from Mexico. It's the third largest for vegetables. So it certainly hits U.S. agriculture and U.S. consumers pretty hard.
And farm trade is impacted in both directions, preventing U.S. farm exports to Mexico as well.
Well, if the border's closed, the border's closed. So when you look at our top products that we export to Mexico, corn and soybeans aren't going via truck, but the next three in line, dairy products, pork, beef, poultry, prepared foods, all the rest are processed products that are consumer-oriented that are all going via trucks.
Top aides to Trump are reported to be considering an alternative plan to allow commercial traffic to continue. But the president says security is more important to him than trade. Nye says closing or partially closing the border also hurts efforts in all three countries to ratify the new U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal, a big political win for President Trump. For the RFD Radio Network, Matt Kay on Capitol Hill.
In a follow-up to yesterday's broadcast, the organization Farmers for Free Trade is about to hit the road. An 11-state, 3,500-mile RV tour across the Midwest in support of USMCA, U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement. A 2-week leg of the tour will take place during the 2-week April congressional recess. Will include stops at family farms and coffee shops, equipment dealers, small businesses all over the place. One of those states, as you would imagine, will be Illinois. That appearance will be Thursday the 18th in Woodstock or in the Woodstock area up in McHenry County. That, again, will be 2 weeks from today. You can learn more about Farmers for Free Trade online at farmersforfreetrade.com. You can hear the full interview we did on a Tuesday RFD Today. You can find that by searching the RFD Radio tab at farmweeknow.com. Illinois FBFM Association will have a new executive director, Scott Wilkin, currently the executive director at the University of Illinois Center for Digital Agriculture. Scott will take over April 17. Originally from Piatt County, the family still farms near Monticello, and he's eager to get involved and bring some of his technology background as well to the organization.
Actually, that's one of the mantras that I always stick to is it's dollars per acre. Focus on dollar per acre. You can be sold a million things as a farmer. As we all know, there's a million different ways to go, and how you manage your input planning is a difficult job. Once you focus and you turn that focus to dollars per acre instead of, hey, how can I actually pour out the best yield, I think it's a game changer for the way you look at how you run your operation.
And, you're talking about managing inputs, and services like FBFM is also an input. So you have to prove your worth on a quite a regular basis that way.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, as our cooperators look at their inputs, FBFM has to be there providing that service, providing the payroll service, providing the budgeting, providing the input planning, providing the myriad of services that they already do. But there has to be value to the farmer. And, every farmer is getting bombarded daily with, hey, can I give you more data from satellites? Can I give you, this data does this? Can I package data for you? Can I package my inputs for you? There's a lot of things coming at a farmer, and I think that trusted third party that FBFM is going to be just a valuable resource for every farmer that's out there. FBFM is set up They've done a wonderful job, and I'm excited for this challenge and this opportunity. And I think we can build something that not only is that valuable third-party trusted group for that farmer, but hopefully actually bring more education, bring more opportunities to those farmers. So I'm looking forward to it.
Scott Wilkin, who will take over as new CEO of Illinois FBFM on the 17th. Hey, this is Agronomy Week, by the way. Good chance to recognize your agronomy team and maybe even win some prizes along the way. Pete Eichenbrook is a product lead for DeKalb Asgrow.
And while we're the creators of Agronomy Week, we really intend this to be an industry-wide celebration. So, we'd invite farmers, regardless of what seed brand they plant, to visit agronomyweek.com to really nominate and recognize those folks.
Simple to do. The deadline, though, is tomorrow, so go to agronomyweek.com. Nominate your agronomic support group for a chance to win daily prizes and the grand prize, a weekend with NASCAR driver Clint Boyer at his North Carolina farm. agronomyweek.com. We'll break now for markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Thursday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans slightly lower, and wheat ending Wednesday higher. May corn closing at 362 3/4, up 1 1/4. July corn up 1 1/4, 372. September corn 380 1/2, up 1 1/4. May beans closing at 898 3/4, down 1 1/4. July beans down 1 1/4, 912 1/4. August beans 918, down 1 1/2. May wheat closing at 471, up 7. July wheat up 6, 474 1/2, and September wheat 481 3/4, up 5 3/4. May bean meal 311 even, up 40 cents. May bean oil 28.80. That's down 16 cents. In current electronic overnight trading, May corn up 1 1/4, July corn up 1 1/4, September corn up a penny, 381 1/2. May beans in the overnight up 2 1/2, July beans up 2 3/4, and August beans 920 3/4, up 2 3/4. May wheat in the overnight up 1 1/4, July wheat up 1 1/2, September wheat 483, up 1 1/4. In the outside markets, June Brent crude oil 69.31, that's down 6 cents a barrel. The June gold contract 12.9560 this morning, up 30 cents. In the livestock market from Wednesday, April lean hogs 79.07, up 12 cents. May lean hogs up 4.40, 88.40. April live cattle 125.77, down half a dollar. June live cattle down 65 cents, 119 even. April feeders 144.75, down a dime. May feeder cattle 147.27, down 52 cents. Cash livestock at Greenville Livestock Auction this week. Steers 133 the top, and Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading steady on Wednesday at 46 to 56. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather with the early morning ag weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Thursday morning. A warming trend continued across much of the Midwest yesterday, especially the central and southern areas. Daytime highs in the 50s and 60s were common across much of the region, with a few 40s in the north and a few readings around 70 in the far south. Coverage of rain increased the past 12 to 24 hours over the western Midwest, and this rain system will be working its way slowly eastward across the region over the next 24 to 36 hours. Periods of rain are expected here in Illinois today into tonight, with drier weather returning on Friday. Most total rainfall amounts from this weather system will not be heavy, but 1/4 to 3/4 inch rainfall amounts will likely be fairly common across the region through tonight. A brief period of dry weather is expected tomorrow into the very early part of the weekend. Then additional showers and a few thunderstorms will return to the Midwest during the second half of the weekend into early next week as another weather system pushes in from the west. A continued warming trend is forecast Friday into the weekend, with most highs climbing into the 60s and 70s across a large part of the Midwest. This warmer temperature trend will continue into early next week, and once again most areas will have a few dry days after this second system moves east out of the region on Monday. No long dry spells are seen, though, across much of the wet Midwest coming up here in the near future. Additional rain and thunderstorms will likely return to the region later next week, and it does look like we will start to see some cooler weather spreading in gradually from the northwest by the second half of next week. 6 to 10 day temperatures across the Midwest should range from below normal in the northwest to above normal in the southeast. Right now it looks like 6 to 10 day rainfall amounts will average fairly close to normal here in Illinois, with 11 to 15 day rainfall averaging near to above normal. I'm Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather.
Farm, family, food. Those three words best describe Illinois Farm Bureau. Farm. For 100 years, Farm Bureau in Illinois has represented and served the men and women who make Illinois one of the top food-producing states. Family. At the heart of rural Illinois are traditional farm families who work together through Illinois Farm Bureau. And food. Farm Bureau families are proud to grow the healthy food they provide their families and yours. Farm, family, food. The heart of Farm Bureau in Illinois.
Warmer weather means a longer honey-do list. Your county Farm Bureau can help you stay on top of your project list and save you money along the way. A Farm Bureau membership offer includes discounts on equipment and supplies from Grainger, plus free shipping on all standard Grainger products. Browse thousands of items from landscaping equipment to power tools. Anything you need to get the job done, Grainger has it. Not a Farm Bureau member? Call us at 309-557-2689. Or visit Illinois Farm Bureau online and join today.
All ag.
All Illinois.
All now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
RFD Radio Network's DeLoss Yankee connects rural routes for you. DeLoss delivers essential farm and food-related news to our listeners. His witty voice has been heard on the air for more than 2 decades. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
Growing up on a farm prepared me for my career. I try to know a little about a lot of things and let the people I interview be the experts. I've always wanted to be on the radio. I'm just happy to do what I enjoy.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
That'll do it for RFD Illinois. We always salute a community. We talked with Scott Wilkin earlier in the program. He's from Piatt County, from the county seat, Monticello, population 5,400. We say hello, Piatt County. I believe last year was number 1 in corn bushels per acre and was in the top 5 in soybeans this past year as well. Sponsored by Country, your farm is your family's legacy and part of your hometown heritage. While you work sun up to sundown to get the job done, we're here protecting the things you love every step of the way. Country Financial. Learn more by visiting countrycrop.com. For Rita Frazier, Jim Taylor, I'm DeLoss Yankee on the RFD Radio Network.